Hello everyone and welcome to the first video in this WWE 2K19 universe mode. My name is Stamptaxis and we begin tonight with the draft for the forthcoming series of universe mode. I will be your host as we complete this draft ahead of the first official episodes of Raw, SmackDown and NXT. And we begin tonight with a word from the chairman of the board, Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Welcome ladies and gents to the WWE Draft. Tonight we will confirm the rosters for the forthcoming series of Universe Mode, and I personally cannot wait to see what's in store for the futures of Raw and SmackDown. I can see many world champion caliber superstars in this company, and I hope they can provide you, the WWE Universe, with the memorable performances I know they're capable of. That's enough from me, so I will introduce you to the first of our two general managers here on Universe Mode. Please welcome the SmackDown Live General Manager, Paige. Well, Vince sees Paige fit enough to retain her status as the SmackDown Live General Manager. She's made quite the impression so far in her time as General Manager on Tuesday night, so let's see what she has to say. Thank you, Mr. McMahon. Tonight is the start of something special here in Universe Mode, and I can't wait to lead SmackDown Live into this exciting new era. I've had plenty of headaches deciding which superstars I want to represent our great brand, and I think I've done pretty well if I do say so myself. And it gives me great pleasure to introduce my counterpart, the new Raw General Manager, this man. It can't be, surely. Oh my word, it's Matt Hardy. I think things are about to become a little bit woken on Monday night. Well, it's certainly a bold move by Vince, but the following few months will certainly show whether it's been a wise appointment. Let's check in and see what the new Raw GM has to say. Good evening! No, I can't. Hello, WWE Universe. Yes, I am your new Raw General Manager. I would like to thank the chairman for this wonderful opportunity. Now, I know I haven't had any experience in a position such as this before, but I promise to do the best job I possibly can and show everyone why Monday Night Raw is the flagship show of the WWE. Due to my appointment as General Manager, I'd like to therefore announce my in-ring retirement. I've enjoyed many great years in the squared circle, but my body has finally told me it's time to stop. For now at least. Never say never though. Who knows now what the future may hold. Now, let's stop talking. Let's get this draft underway. Now, ladies and gents, if we have a quick look at the rules for this draft. After the toss of a coin, it was decided that Raw would have the first pick in this year's draft. The draft will alternate after every pick, so it will go Raw, SmackDown, etc. 20 superstars will be initially drafted to each brand, and then there will be some remaining superstars that may or may not be drafted, depending on how many the general managers want. There's no order to the draft either, so anyone can be drafted at any time. That basically means that, it doesn't have to be like a male superstar, then a female superstar, then a tag team, for example. Anyone can go at any time. Once the GMs have completed the draft, if there's anybody who hasn't been drafted, they'll become a free agent and they can be signed at any time during the series. NXT superstars are unavailable for the draft because we're going to be doing NXT in this series, so I'll want to retain them for the NXT roster and have the most realistic roster possible for NXT. Also, some wrestlers have been given part-time / legend status, so for example your Brock Lesnar's, your Triple H's. These people can't be drafted because they're not really full-time members of the roster. Some people who you may think are part-time now I've given full-time status to, because I just wanted as many people as possible, but I didn't want it to be too unrealistic. But this means that the legends or the part-timers can appear on either brand at any time or any PPV. Just if they're in a storyline, for example, they can make a special appearance. And there's also going to be no 205 Live in this series as well, so all the cruiserweights are available for the draft, and the cruiserweight championship is going to be redundant as well. The titles will remain on their respective shows, but they're going to be vacated, and there's a reason for that. I'll go into that in a sec. So Raw's going to keep the Universal title, the Intercontinental title, and obviously the Raw Women's and Tag Team titles, and then SmackDown is going to keep the WWE title, the US title, and obviously the SmackDown Women's and Tag Team titles. NXT will still have the NXT title, the new North American title, and the Women's and Tag Team titles as well. Not going to use Pete Dunne's UK title though. Don't want too many titles just clogging up the show. But like I said, these titles are going to be vacated, and over the next 3 episodes we're going to decide the champions going forward. So basically what I've decided to do is I've played Universe mode for years, like going back to the GM modes on the old SmackDown vs Raw games, and I didn't like going into the start of the series with the champions who were already on the game. So like for example, I didn't want to start Universe mode necessarily with Roman Reigns as the Universal title holder and AJ Styles as the WWE champion. I wanted to maybe freshen things up. They may have it, but I'll explain why. But yeah, this is what I do at the start of each game. So what I do before I started, and I would sort out the rosters and everything, and then in the exhibition mode, I would have a match, like a ladder match or something, a multi-man match, and basically whoever won the match would be that title for that brand. So for example, for the WWE title, I would have it on SmackDown, and I'd have a six-man match, like my top six superstars, and whoever won would go into the start of Universe mode as the WWE champion. I've done it for all these years, that's always how I've done it, and I think it would be a pretty unique way of doing it for this series. So that's what I'm going to do. Those are going to be, so I'm going to do Raw, SmackDown, and NXT individually, and they're not going to be like official episodes, they're just going to be deciding who the champions are. One of the reasons this is just because I hate working up to a pay-per-view without a champion. Because say you have all vacated titles, then it's pretty boring if you just have a tournament for every title. It's kind of hard to keep it fresh. And also, that way, if we have a champion, I can think of storylines and everything from the off, so it's just easier, but it mixes it up a little bit, which I think would be quite good. Just as one more note to make as well, we'll be starting from the beginning of the WWE calendar, so although it's October in real life, in this universe, we're going to be starting from the Raw after WrestleMania. So the first pay-per-view is going to be Backlash, and that's going to be a Raw exclusive pay-per-view. I'm not going to have as many pay-per-views as they do in real life, mainly just because I don't like some of the pay-per-views, like Great Balls of Fire. I think it's a bit bad, and also I only like having one pay-per-view a month to work towards as well, just so I can focus all my energies into that, and then once that's done I can move on to the next one. Some pay-per-views are going to be single shows like brand exclusive, some are going to be dual branded like your obvious ones, WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, etc. The exclusive pay-per-views might not be what they are in real life, because I know some tend to be more like Extreme Rules tends to be Raw and Payback, SmackDown, etc. I may have got that the wrong way and I can't really remember, but they may not match real life, but you know, gone for a slight shake up. It's mostly based on real life, but it is going to have some changes, and we'll find out the rest of the pay-per-views in due course. Don't worry, I haven't got rid of like the big ones and the best ones, but yeah, so you'll just find out as and when they come about. So anyway, that being said, that's the rules done. Let's go ahead and find out who Matt Hardy has chosen for his first draft pick. So here we have our draft screen, and we can keep up to date of who has selected who. So number 1 for Raw, and what a way to kick off the draft. It's the big dog Roman Reigns who goes as the number 1 overall pick in the draft, and that is a big statement of how Matt Hardy wants to run his yard. A big start then to the draft as Raw selects Roman Reigns, so SmackDown better have something good up their sleeve. And they do. Things are about to get phenomenal over on SmackDown Live, because AJ Styles is the number 1 pick for SmackDown. What a way to kick off the draft for both brands tonight. Time for pick number 2 then for Raw, and Raw have selected a monster. That's right, Braun Strowman is going to the red brand. What an epic start to Matt Hardy's tenure as GM. The monster among men heading to the Raw brand then, so how is SmackDown going to respond? Oh yeah, the face that runs the place, John Cena, deemed in this career mode as a full-time superstar. Despite his free agent status and despite his Hollywood endeavours, John Cena is the second pick for SmackDown Live GM page, and you have to say that's probably just as epic a start as Raw have made too. 2 picks apiece then so far as we move into the third pick for Raw, and the Yes movement is making its way to Raw. Daniel Bryan becomes the 5th overall pick in the draft, and pick number 3 for Raw, probably the most naturally over superstar in WWE history, becomes a member of the Raw roster. So then we move to SmackDown's number 3 pick, and oh boy, the Samoan submission machine Samoa Joe becomes the 3rd pick of the draft for SmackDown. We've already seen what storyline can be produced from such feuds as Samoa Joe and AJ Styles, so perhaps Paige is thinking that maybe she can rekindle something here. That could be an epic battle. We move on to number 4 for Raw, and oh my, Kevin Owens, KO, the 2nd ever Universal Champ, comes to Raw. and I'm sure he'll be looking to get his hands on that title once again, but it will certainly have stiff competition. Number 4 is for SmackDown, and it's the architect, Seth Rollins. Seth isn't very well associated with the Blue brand, but Paige obviously deems he was too good to turn down in this draft, so he brings the Grand Slam champ to the Blue brand, which means that no Shield, interestingly. Well, for now anyway. Pick number 5 then for Raw as we get through this draft. And oh boy, it's the Viper, Randy Orton, who makes his way to Monday nights, and I'm sure he will be looking to strike the most venomous move in all of sports entertainment, the RKO, to make his way back to the top of the tree. Pick number 5, now it's actually our first female superstar of the draft that is going to SmackDown Live, and things are about to get rowdy as the baddest woman on the planet, Ronda Rousey, makes her way to SmackDown Live. This is a massive get for Paige. 10th overall pick in the draft is the former UFC champion, and it's already heating up into something that I can't wait to see. We're a quarter way through this draft then, and pick number 6 for Raw is the king of strong styles, Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke will be a tough opponent for anyone on this roster and a tricky customer to deal with given his recent actions over the past few months. Let's see if he can low blow his way to the top here on Monday Night Raw. So then, pick number 6 for SmackDown, and it's the lunatic fringe, Dean Ambrose, who makes his way to Tuesday nights. A former WWE champion on the Blue brand, I'm sure he'll be looking to reclaim former glories here in this universe mode. Pick number 7 for Raw sees them make their first female acquisition of the night, and the Queen, Charlotte Flair, comes to the Red brand. Matt Hardy certainly picks a strong figurehead for the women's division on Raw. It will certainly be interesting to see which other female superstars also end up on Monday nights. Time for SmackDown to respond then, and SmackDown Live has now become must see because The Miz is going to the Blue brand. The Awesome One will certainly be looking for himself and wife Maurice, the It couple, putting themselves on top where they think they belong on the Blue brand. Pick number 8 for Raw, and Balor Club has made its way to Raw. The first ever Universal Champ and the Demon Finn Balor make it to Monday nights. Although not the biggest superstar, he's definitely made big waves in the WWE, and this is a big pick for the Raw GM. Pick number 8 for SmackDown, and it's another female superstar. Paige obviously believes that she needs a goddess on SmackDown Live as Alexa Bliss makes her way to the Blue brand. The 5 Feet of Fury has already claimed many women's titles in the WWE and she'll be looking to continue her dominance on SmackDown Live. Pick number 9 for Raw, and it's Baron Corbin. Matt Hardy has decided he doesn't need a constable for Monday nights or a deputy general manager. Corbin returns to a full-time member of the roster and can prove himself a very capable competitor, looking to enter himself into the main event picture. Pick number 9 for SmackDown is going to be their second female superstar in a row as they pick the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka. Asuka went on that unbelievable unbeaten streak when she first joined the WWE, but hasn't quite made the impact she would have wanted to on the main roster. I'm sure she'll be looking to change her fortunes here in Universe Mode. As we come to the halfway point of the draft then, pick number 10 for Raw, and it's the show-off Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler is a 6-time Intercontinental Champ and on his way to becoming a veteran of the WWE. Certainly a well-respected member of the roster, Matt Hardy certainly sees Dolph as a solid pick for Team Red. We reach the halfway point for SmackDown then, and our first tag team has been selected of the draft, and it's your boys, the New Day. I'm sorry, I had to. This tag team are the longest reigning tag team champions in WWE history, as Big E always tells you in the entrance. And Paige makes a massive get for Team Blue in the 20th overall pick of the draft and the first tag team of the draft. Now, like I've said for the last 2 picks, we are now at the halfway point of the draft. So let's just recap then who's gone to which brand. So, Raw has Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, Daniel Bryan, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, Shinsuke Nakamura, Charlotte Flair, Finn Balor, Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler. Whereas on SmackDown Live, we've got AJ Styles, John Cena, Samoa Joe, Seth Rollins, Ronda Rousey, Dean Ambrose, The Miz, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, and The New Day. What a strong start we have made to this draft. I can't wait to see some of these feuds, some potentially mouth-watering feuds in the offing here with these superstars, but we've still got 10 superstars for each brand to go. So let's carry on. As we make our way into the second half of this Universe Mode draft, Raw are going to respond to SmackDown's last pick with their first tag team pick. And number 11 for Raw is the Bludgeon Brothers. Harper and Rowan have certainly become a force to be reckoned with in the tag team wrestling and will be out to dominate the tag team division on Raw. The first pick for SmackDown in the second half of this draft also sees them pick a tag team for the second pick in a row and a third pick in a row overall. And this team don't just set the bar, they are the bar. Sheamus and Cesaro head to SmackDown Live, and we can just see from the last two picks that Paige means business when it comes to her tag team division. Pick number 12 for Raw is a special pick for Raw General Manager as he selects Brother Nero himself. That's right, General Manager Matt Hardy's brother, Jeff, is making his way to the Red brand. Charismatic enigma certainly wows fans and has a special connection with the audience for his no fear high flying style. Pick number 12 for SmackDown is their third tag team pick in a row. The Usos are making their way to SmackDown Live, and that just affirms the point we previously made that Paige certainly wants an impressive tag team division here on the Blue brand. Pick number 13 for Raw sees them pick their second female superstar of the draft, and it is the irresistible force Nia Jax, a dominant figure in the women's division with her sheer power helping her see off any threat. Let's see if she can continue this dominance on Raw. Pick number 13 for SmackDown also sees them pick another female superstar, and it's the Irish lass kicker Becky Lynch. The first ever SmackDown Women's Champion has certainly changed her style over the last few months. Perhaps stopped being as nice as she once was and really focusing on getting her hands back on that Women's Championship. Pick number 14 for Raw sees Matt Hardy pick his second tag team of the draft, and the GM makes this draft a very special day. That's right, Rusev Day. The Bulgarian Brute and the Shakespeare of Song make their way onto Team Red. They're finally on the same page and looking to claim their first piece of tag team silverware in the WWE. Pick number 14 for SmackDown, and it's the man from Scotland, Drew McIntyre. This man received a very special introduction to the WWE in his first stint with the company from the chairman himself. But things didn't quite work out the way he would have liked before being released. He's come back and he's a completely different animal, and proved so when he was in NXT, becoming NXT champion and proving that he really means business now he's back. Pick number 15 for Raw, and it's another pick close to Matt Hardy's heart. It's the Eater of Worlds, Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt's world seems to have fallen out from beneath him in the last few years. He's lost the Wyatt family, and now he's lost his tag team partner as the new GM. Bray needs to remind himself and other people why he was once the most feared WWE superstar. Pick number 30 overall in the draft and number 15 for SmackDown sees another former member of the great stable 3MB, the modern day Maharaja Jinder Mahal. Like McIntyre, Jinder spent time away from the WWE and reinvented himself, even becoming WWE champ upon his return. But whatever you think of Jinder, he certainly has come back and impressed in his second spell of the company, and I'm sure he will be looking to carry on in that vein. As we come towards the last few picks in the draft then, and this is going to be the first cruiserweight of the draft, as number 16 for Raw is the majorly impressive Cedric Alexander. Matt Hardy has obviously decided he wants a high-flying, high-energy member of the roster, and he will certainly get that with Cedric Alexander. I haven't watched a lot of cruiserweight wrestling, to be honest, but when I have, it's always involved Cedric Alexander, as he's always really impressed me, so I'm certainly excited to see what he can do on the main roster. Pick number 16 for SmackDown, and it's The Big Show. Well, we haven't seen too much of The Big Show in recent times, but he's pledged to GM Page that he's going to be a full-time member of the roster, and he'll certainly be a tough opponent for anyone due to his size, and especially that KO punch. Pick number 17 for Raw is another female superstar, and it's Natalya. Natalya, of course, is a former women's champion with a strong family wrestling legacy behind her, and is certainly not someone to be taken lightly in the women's division. Pick number 17 for SmackDown Live is also another female superstar, and it's Naomi. Team Blue will certainly be feeling the glow, and I'm sure she'll be looking to light up the SmackDown Women's division with her performances. And I'm really sorry about the puns. Pick number 18 for Raw is a former NXT champion, and it's Andrade Cien Almas. Almas will be joined, of course, by his business partner Selena Vega on Team Red, and he'll be looking to make his mark on the main roster after his impressive stint in developmental. Pick number 18 for SmackDown Live, and it is Sami Zayn. Sami not joining his partner and best friend Kevin Owens on Raw, so Sami will have to look at getting single success at the moment in WWE. He hasn't enjoyed much main roster success actually, and I'm sure he will be looking to change that. The penultimate pick for Raw in this draft is a man who needs no introduction, but I'll give him one anyway. It is a universal truth that everyone here knows that WWE stands for Raw's next pick. That man is Elias. Elias has had a fairly short stint on the main roster, but certainly made a big impact. In just a few months, he's announced an EP, which I would definitely recommend, to be honest. It's actually good listening. Let's hope his wrestling in the coming months matches his talent on the guitar. The second to last pick then for SmackDown is another member of the Cruiserweight division. It is Mustafa Ali. I don't know that much about Mustafa Ali. As I said, I don't watch much Cruiserweight TV. Other than he had an insane match at WrestleMania 34 with Cedric Alexander for the Cruiserweight title. Paige obviously sees a lot in him, so let's see what he can do. We come to the last pick then for Monday Night Raw, and GM Matt Hardy has certainly made a statement with this pick. Monday nights are about to become glorious as Bobby Roode makes his way to the red brand. Bobby Roode is certainly a veteran wrestler these days, having achieved a lot in his career in other companies, but has yet to make a significant impact, no pun intended, yet in the WWE. He won a US title, but I know Bobby will see his future at the top, and like we said, he wants to make Mondays glorious. The last pick of the draft, pick number 40 overall. Sounds quite degrading, but it's not. There are more female superstars heading to SmackDown Live, and it's the Bella Twins, another pair that have committed their full-time status to General Manager Paige, and that certainly makes a lot of stars in the female division so far on SmackDown Live. So guys, those are the 20 top picks for each brand in this draft. Each brand did select a few more superstars though, so if we just quickly run through those, Raw have got a list here. They've got Ember Moon, Sasha Banks, Bayley, Carmella, Kane, Breezango, Authors of Pain, Chad Gable. The B Team, Titus Worldwide, Goldust, TJP, Absolution, Alicia Fox, The Iconics, and Shelton Benjamin. And if we take a look at SmackDown Live, they've got The Club, The Riot Squad, Drew Gulak, Sanity, Jason Jordan, Mickey James, The Revival, R-Truth, Hideo Itami, Heath Slater, Rhino, Mojo Rawley, and Tamina. So guys, that rounds out the draft completely. I know it has been a long video, I apologise. I know there has not been much gameplay, and I do apologise. But that is something that you are going to see next episode. So guys, if you're excited for this universe mode, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel. There's going to be plenty of content coming your way, and I look forward to seeing you on the first unofficial episode where we crown our Raw champions. Thanks for watching guys, see you in the next video.